when the transfer has been affected. In respect of property whose vendor has title to the property. Relief of the decision is granted in case where contract is voidable. A declaration on Section 34 of the Specific Relief Act can be sought by a person whose legal character or a right to property is denied. A bailer is liable to damages arising to the belly from the false in the goods if the did not disclose to the belly awareness of all the faults which materially interfere with the use of goods, which results in losses that are an indirect result of the misconduct directly caused by the misconduct. An agent has to pay compensation to his principal for his misconduct, which results in losses that are one person is deemed to be an agnet of another if they are related to each other by blood or adoption wholly through a male blood or adoption. The general rules of succession of a Hindu male dying intestate are contained in section of a Hindu Succession Act. The general rules of succession of a Hindu male dying intestate are contained in section S8. Husband in entry of a section 15(1) of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 includes husband of a subsisting marriage. Under S19 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956, if two or more heirs succeed together to property of an intestate, they shall take the property as tenants in common. In common. Section 13 of the Specific Relief Act has no application when the transfer has been affected. In respect of property which vendor has title of the property. Section 13 of the Special Relief Act has no application when the transfer has been affected. Relief of a rescission is granted in case where contract is voidable. A declaration under S34 of the Specific Relief Act can be sought by a person whose legal character or a right to property is denied. A person whose legal character of right to property is denied. Actually, no suit for the recovery of a possession to be filed under S6 of the Specific Relief after the expiry of Section 13 of the Special Relief Act has no application when transfer has been affected. The transfer affected have in respect of property. Vendor has to title to the property. Vendor. Section 13 of the Special Relief Act. Vendor vendi. Relief of rescission is granted case where contract is void hela. Relief of rescission. The declaration under S34 of the Specific Relief Act. Person whose legal character or a right to property denied. Legal character illegal denied. S34. The declaration relief. A suit for the recovery of a possession. Recovery. A suit for recovery of a possession. Recovery of possession filed under S6 of Specific Relief Act. After the expiry of 6 months from the date of dispossessions. Dispossession honesty. Recovery of possession can be filed under Specific Recovery Specific Relief Act. Recovery of possessions. A contract can be specifically enforced. Contract which is following can be specifically enforced. Specifically enforced. Actually enforce. Penalty को prevent करेंगे anyone. Relief of a specific performance can be granted for enforcing civil rights. A suit for possession under Section 5 of the Specific Relief Act can be filed within 12 years. Suit for possession under Section 5 of Specific Relief Act can be filed within 12 years के अंदर. Relief of specific performance can be granted for enforcing can be civil rights. Any one of the following grounds will prevent a plaintiff from seeking a specific enforcement. Prevent a plaintiff. Plaintiff has violated an essential term of the contract. Plaintiff has acted fraudulently. Plaintiff has acted variance. Plaintiff has violated an essential term of the contract. Plaintiff has violated an essential term of the contract. Any one of the following grounds will prevent a plaintiff from seeking specific enforcement. Any one of the following grounds will prevent plaintiff for seeking specific enforcement. Violated a essential term space. Plaintiff has violated a essential term of a contract. Plaintiff has already fraudulently. Plaintiff has acted a variance. Enforcement. ये fraudulent होगा. A defendant can take any of the following defenses. Suit for specific performance. A defendant can take any of the following defenses. Money is adequate compensation, uncertainty of the terms of the contract, contract made in excess of power. A defendant can take any of the following defense. Any of the following defense in a suit for specific performance. Performances. Na. One is adequate compensation, uncertainty of the terms of contract, contract made excessive power. This is defense in suit for specific performance. One is adequate compensation, uncertainty of the term of contract. Which of the following can be specifically enforced? A contract for sale of property under allotment. A contract for sale of property under allotment. Mere agreement to enter in contract. Contract to many. Mere agreement to enter into contract. Mere agreement to enter into a contract. Contract for sale. A contract can be specifically enforced.